What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Texas Basketball Weekly. I told y'all I got a special guest. But before we get to him, he's your host, Ani Amana and Mushu Nega. We're back, and we got Brandon Jenkins, a 247. Brandon, how you feeling, man?
It was good, y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me on.
Man, that's the shortest statement you've given to me in 3 years. You're acting super humble, and this is not you.
Bro, you have that fly intro in there. I mean, I had to come in all professional. I mean, you seen the music sounded good. You got him interviewing big time dudes like Keontae George and Casey Wallace. I mean, I had to match the energy.
I feel you. And my interview with Ron Holland from 2022 is out on my YouTube. I'll post a link on here. I'm going to bring ISO Andy back. It was fun interviewing future pros, like pros now that when they were in high school. Shu, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Had a long weekend. Got to catch up with some games. Thank God for Synergy. Got to catch up on some college games and ready to hear what y'all's takes are from the weekend, man. I got to see how these kids look like from Dallas and down in Houston. So y'all let me know what it's looking like.
Yeah, so me and Brandon switched. So I was in Dallas this weekend with the Noble, and I also got to see Dallas Carter and Melissa play. And Brandon came up, and he was actually in Houston for Jim Hicks, the opener, and Marcus Sloan's event as well, the tip-off. So, Brandon, talk about how that went. Who stood out to you?
Yeah, man. Honestly, it was a much-needed evaluation weekend for me because I hadn't been down to Houston in a minute. So it was good to start off my weekend at the RCS Sports Season opener on Friday. The first game I watched was Josh Ogman in Cypress Park against Salim Olajuwon versus Houston Episcopal. I caught the back end of that one. Josh Ogman, nephew of Stacey Ogman, he showed a lot of upside. He's 6'4" shooting guard. Brings a lot of the tools, but he has ways to go in terms of, turning that potential into production. But definitely everything is there that looks the part where he would have a high major chance. It's just about him putting it all together. Aleem is kind of marching to the tune of that same beat. Obviously, the physical tools are there, long arms, great frame. He's about 6'4", and he can do multiple things on the floor. It's just about him channeling in to that inner beast. His jumpers starting to get more efficient, starting to get a little bit more cleaner. He had 22 points, and his team came away with the win. So it was good. That was a good evaluation just to get an update on those two guys. And then the second game that I tracked that night was probably the best matchup that I seen on the weekend. Reese Alston, 4-star guard, top 25 player in the class of 2027. He represents Houston Second Baptist. They were taking on Chase Richardson, a 4-star guard who suits up for Friendswood. That was a good matchup between two of the best league guards in the greater Houston area. And that one was pretty intriguing. I mean, coming into it, I was telling one of my homeboys how, that's one of these matchups in high school basketball that not only I had to be there just because of the status of the players, but also just as a fan of the game. Both of those players are fun to watch. And, they both put on a show in their own right. Reese just naturally brings that razzle-dazzle. Of course, he's an NBA legacy, the son of a former point guard, Rayford Alston, street ball icon, Skip to Malou. And you could just tell he naturally has that in his game. I mean, there was this one play where he was in transition. He brought it to the left side of the court and hit it with a quick in and out and went with the under the rim through traffic layup that just caught my attention. I mean, every time I see him play, he brings it. He brings it and he ignites a crowd like none other. On Chase's side, it was the foot speed. It was the ability to pass with both hands, and it was the explosion. But at the end of the day, Reese got the better of the matchup. They won by 12 points. And, he asserted himself as a guy who's probably one of the best point guards in the national 2027 class. And I think, 8 months from now, he could really, contend for that spot as the number one point guard in the country. He showed me some of those markers, some of those tools. And obviously the pedigree is there. And coming off a big time summer, it looks like he's not looking to look back.
Yeah, no, that's a really good that game was very interesting, Chase and Reese. I think they scrimmaged each other. I think it was the Gasso the fall, but I know like that was a scrimmage. So like an official game like that, just to see both of them really compete against each other, seemed like a different style like play. Reese, you saying that he has a chance of being the number one player in the country. Talk about his rise, because he was someone that was probably like 40, 50, 60 in the country, kind of around that range, 40 to 60 range, now top 25. What has he done over the summer and in the fall that has allowed him to rise and be a top 25 player?
Yeah. But first of all, that Pro 16 championship, man, that championship run was pretty special. Just the way that he put his team on his back and did so, the way he gets to his best, he does so in an effortless fashion. I think that's what speaks to me. When players are able to be productive, but it seems like they're not working as hard as much as their peers, as the people around them, that really speaks volumes to me. And with him, like the game just, I use the word naturally a lot, but that's what it is. It just comes so natural to him. He plays at his own pace. He plays tall, but he knows that nobody's going to take his ball. He's very fluid. He's very crafty. I mean, like, he just ridiculously skilled. And like I said before, he's very fun to watch. He has a great feel for the game. And, the jumper is gaining more consistency. And obviously he's tapping into his athleticism. I'm seeing him get his head above the rim as well. So, he already was productive when he was ranked in that 40 spot, but he still has upside that he's continuing to tap into. And, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing all of that coming to the forefront. So we can see him. He's ranked number 24 currently in our rankings, but I could see him rising and, challenging a Nazir Anderson and a Caden Daughtry for that top, point guard spot. He brings that level of talent and that level of upside.
Where would you, for Reese and all of his improvements, where would you like him to see to probably take the next biggest leap in his game?
Yeah, absolutely. The consistency of his jumper. I think, it's crazy when we talk about New York basketball, obviously where his dad is from, they're known for handling the rock, putting on his show, but they're not known for shooting. But, when I was young in elementary school, Rayford was playing for the Rockets, and that was one of the things he did well. He shot the three ball well. So just gaining more consistency with that three ball in Reese's game. I think he'll be able to master that. And I put emphasis on master because I think he does have a pros game already. I just think that there's more that he could tap into. But yeah, I think that three ball, just that gaining more consistency, once his shot falls down more, I mean, the sky is the limit. I mean, I know the point guard position is kind of, dying out in the NBA realm, but, you can just tell by the way that he plays, how graceful he moves, how he gets the ball where he needs to go, that, he'll have a chance to enter that realm and do so with a lot of confidence.
Makes a lot of sense. Shu, give your eval on Chase Richardson, another, Brandon talked about another 4-star PG, someone that we got to see. He really popped at TABC. Give your eval on Chase Richardson and what you like about him.
No, I think Brandon hit it on the head. When you talk about his explosiveness, you talk about his foot speed, you talk about just his ability to kind of get downhill and get to the rim, uses athleticism to make plays. I think he's grown as a passer. At times that I've evaluated him, it'd be more so on the scoring end, as I thought where the production was, and him kind of getting into transition and getting into the lanes. But I think he's got a chance to be able to create a lot more and spread the ball around, just because he's able to garner so much attention. Because he is quick, because he is fast, because he does get into the paint. He can break the first line of defense. And so with him being able to do that and show that, I guess, in this time frame coming up, this new school year, I think he's got a chance to take, like Brandon was talking about, taking another leap. I think he's got a chance to do that as well. And I'd like to see him again on the defensive side. I always love when you see guys display their athleticism and their quickness and their strength on the offensive side. I like when that's used on the other side as well, on the defensive side. So for me, Chase got a chance to kind of be one of those two-way guards with his physical tools and his ability to create. And now he's got a lot of attention coming his way. So he's going to have to be able to create and spray and do some things for other guys on his team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm really impressed by both of them. Chase is someone for me that I really like just his playmaking. Like, I like how he's balanced playmaking and shooting and scoring. I do think there's definitely some defensive upside just with his positional size. But he can really make high-level passes, cross-court passes, especially when he comes off a ball screen. Reese, I mean, Brandon said it best, his athleticism. it does look like he kind of plays a little upright, but you're not going to rip it from him. You're not going to like push him out of his spots. And one thing, and I wrote about this before, is like he's so crafty with like his euros and like step throughs and stuff like that. Like he can still be in control but still like going left and right, while going left and right with his gathers and like initiating the contact, finishing. So he's very crafty, and obviously this is Rayford's son, so this it's not too surprising, but someone that I think just has a lot in his game, and he's still growing. And like Brandon said, I think he's someone that can contend for the #1 PG in the country. Brandon, is there any other players that really stood out to you? Is there some guys that like, hey, like, he's impressed me, or someone that you need to just continue to monitor?
Absolutely. Yeah, those were my top performers from Friday. Two of the dudes that I was looking forward to seeing when I went down to Houston was Landon Villa, Houston Christian, and Malik Parrish of New Wave Academy. And so I had them scheduled on docket to watch them play on Saturday. Unfortunately, after the Chase Richardson Reese Austin game, I found out that somebody in the parking lot wanted to hit my vehicle. So it kind of scratched the plans of me, being able to watch Landonville the next day at around 12 because I had to take care of, rental car and insurance stuff and getting my car towed and stuff like that. But we still, we rally, we live in the gym, as we say.
Right.
So I was able to get my rental car in enough time to go travel to Sloan's event, the OTR Exposures Houston Tip-Off, to go watch New Wave Academy play Empowering Others Prep. Did I get that right? Empowering Others Prep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was a good game because, like I said, Malik Parrish was top on my list. And while he didn't really accumulate stats, it was more just the natural ability, the gifts. He definitely looked the part of somebody who's going to, entertain a high major recruitment. I think he already does. He has the offers from TCU and SMU. But from what I saw, he's about 6'7", could push to be 6'8" in some months. But an athletic forward who has some ball skills on the perimeter. He isn't just fully raw. He actually has an idea of what to do when he's operating on the perimeter, but his bread and butter will more than likely come on the glass, come protecting the rim, and come changing ends. He's a guy who just moves fluidly, and he plays with an edge. Now, I would like to see him tap more into that to play with a higher motor, but you could tell like all the markers are there for him, to be a high major prospect, a dude who can entertain a high major recruitment, and somebody who would be prioritized by Big 12 and SEC schools. And then on the other end with EOP, Jadarian Williams, a recent reclass to the class of 2028, just a big-time bucket getter from behind the arc. I love seeing him create his own shot from deep. He can heat up in a moment's notice. He has a quick trigger. Somebody that, I come to like when I watched him play with YGC on the Pro 16 circuit. He can fill it up from downtown, and he put up 21 points and got his team the win in that showcase. And then I took my talents after that. I went back to Hicks event to watch Atascocita play Seven Lakes. That was another high level matchup. And that one was just, it was just filled with two well-coached teams. Nazir Price scored 26 points. It looks like he's back. I think UTSA has a steal there. I never want to see a kid get hurt, but I think him getting hurt helped out Austin Clonch and that staff just because they got somebody who, could be a 4-star talent once he taps back into full health. He's confident. He can get his game going from all three levels. His body just needs to bulk up. And once that happens, we're talking about somebody who could be an all-league type of player with the way he's able to score the basketball. Katy Seven Lakes also had an unsigned senior, Jose Martins, very shifty, very crafty, had a good feel for the game, had control of the game. He had 2 late turnovers that were kind of questionable. But still, it's hard to find a point guard that moves the way that he moves. And, schools looking for a league guard should probably jump on him. And then, of course, the 4-star forward, Isaiah Santos, one of the hardest playing players in high school basketball. I don't think y'all will argue with me on that one. He puts his hard hat on, gets downhill, goes for every 50-50 ball. He's just all about hard work. And, they got the 1-point win in that one. And then Atascocita on the other end, a guy that I was really impressed by, and I seen him a little bit in the summer, but really didn't get a full, grasp for his game when I was watching him play. I did so this time around. Roy Shelton, a lefty floor general for Atascocita. I think he transferred from Cypress Park, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Physically ripped lefty point guard. Just got into the teeth of the defense, made the right plays. When I was there, he didn't really cash in on a lot of jumpers, but you could tell by the mechanics that he has some perimeter game to him. He can make shots and keep a defense honest. Also, New Mexico State signee, senior guard, Jakai Kantave. and he was just really poised, composed, got the ball where it needed to go, made a nice lob pass to Anthony Key, I believe, that really opened my eyes. I think somebody who's had a strong reputation dating back to his middle school days, and usually dudes who are skilled like that, who have been on the radar like that, they tend to do well in college just because they're so seasoned in the game. So, that was a good matchup between Katy Seven Lakes and Atascocita. It was good to see, that one go down to the wire.
Yeah, I saw that was a 1-point game. That was big time. It's interesting when you talk about Isaiah Santos. I know U of H has kind of been rumored. I know he's a junior, but like he like Brandon said, he puts his hard hat on. There's no one playing harder than him. Talk about like someone like him and why U of H is someone that's been interested in him and why we're seeing high major programs, because he's about 6'5". Right, he plays bigger than his listed height. Obviously, the jump shooting is like a swinging skill of his that just needs to improve, and I think it's starting to kind of see an uptick there. But just give your eval on Isaiah and why Power 4, Power 5 schools have shown a lot of interest in him.
I mean, sometimes it's an identity thing. When you're a kid that has the ability to affect the game, a lot of times without the ball, without your number being called, whether that's rebounding, whether that's defense, whether that's 50-50 balls, it just does so much for a coach. It's sort of this security blanket of like, okay, I have somebody on the floor that's going to be able to give me this sort of attention, attention to detail, whether it is the rebounds, whether it is the 50-50 balls, whether it is hustling back on defense, tipping the ball out if you're not able to get it. Those guys are so much they're needed because so many other kids are looking for the ball. So many of the kids are needing the ball in various ways. But if you got somebody you don't have to give, I'm just like not that attention to, but more so that he can just contribute and give his all to the program, to the organization, to winning. That's the type of kid Isaiah is. Isaiah is a winner. He's going to do what he needs to do to win. And is somebody you can kind of, you can call a culture kid, you know what I mean? As far as carrying that culture, carrying that flag of like, this is how we're going to do things here. And he's going to bring everybody else on board. So that's why it's important for a team like Houston or a team in SEC or Big 12 that kind of share and identify with that type of player.
Yeah, absolutely. He just like this, be the ultimate glue guy at those levels, like someone like you said that doesn't need a play drawn up for him, but he's going to go get a rebound. He can get a rebound, then push it up, kind of and push it up and kind of put pressure on the defense and get to the rim. I'm really interested to see just with the jump shot. I think he's getting better, but he's such a beast. He has a really strong frame and he knows how to use it, initiate contact. He's explosive off either foot and and off 2 feet as well. So I'm really a big fan of Isaiah. Someone that can be impactful without having a play drawn for them or without them needing the ball in their hands. Like you said, that plays a really, really big part in, translatable, skill and minutes when they get into the Division I level.
And building a roster, you know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes you got to construct a roster. Everybody has a role. You got your guy who you're going to want to get shots for. You got your guy who's going to space. You got your bigs and what you want them to do. And so, you need a kid like that on every team. I think any team you all would build, if it's an NBA team, I'm sure would have that sort of player on it. So, yeah, kudos to him. And again, I'm with you on the seeing him develop and with the jump shot and seeing him kind of add that. He's got time. He's obviously a 227 kid, so he's got time to add a little bit more of that. But excited to see him and his growth move forward.
Yeah. So, Brandon, I know you got to hop off pretty soon, but what's next for you? Where are you going to be at? There's a lot of high-level games going on in Dallas, even the Central Texas area. I know there is. I know you live in Austin. And then also there's a lot of high-level games. Houston, but where were you going to be at? And not 6th Street.
I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't no high-level games in no Central Texas area. Maybe, actually, you know what? Take that back. I'm not going to be able to attend, but Alamo City Hoops does have a fire event going down in San Antonio. They got some good teams going on. I think Frisco Heritage and Melissa are going to be down there. Speaking of them both, I'm probably going to watch them play tomorrow evening. I think they match up at Frisco Heritage. And then Snoop Johnson is throwing an event where Faye Family is playing Dynamic Prep tomorrow. So I want to, cash in on that. That's 2 of the top national powerhouses in the state, right? So I feel like I have to be there. I'm not doing something right. And then later on this month, I think Sloan is throwing a Thanksgiving event. Marcus Sloan, he's doing some OTR Thanksgiving event that I want to be at just to get another look. I want to get a follow-up look at Malik Parrish and then able to get my get back on Landonville just to see how he's progressing. And then I think we're all going to be at the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest, right?
Yeah,
that's loaded. So, that's pretty much my schedule for the rest of November.
Got you. Yeah, I'll actually in Dallas for the week, so I'll be at Snoop's event. That 5 o'clock game, I think, with Faith and Dynamic, it's like that's must see TV, like you said. So I'll definitely be there catching those games, and I'll be at most of the events you're going to be at for November. The beautiful thing, even like as national evaluators, like in November, there's a lot of national talent.
Yes.
With the Hoop Fest.
Wait, are you in Houston right now?
I'm in Dallas right now.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, bro, you zigzagging? Like, dang.
I'm in here. I got to handle some business, so that's why I'm out here right now in Dallas. So I'm actually here for the week, so I'll be able to catch a lot of the local stuff here. Then I'll be back in Houston and then Hoop Fest and stuff. So, Brandon, we appreciate your time, man. We know you're a busy man. This is Brandon Jenkins of 247. Appreciate your time, dog, and we'll see you. Well, you won't be. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see you on another episode. It won't be
absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate y'all for having me on.
For sure.
I'll be Jank.
It was always good to have Brandon on.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny seeing him like here. Like he really knows the game. So like I always want people to know how well he can evaluate and he sees the game and how well he can articulate it. But it's so funny to see, we know Brandon off the airways, right? Yeah. And then Brandon here is just two different people. So and maybe people can say that about me, so it's okay. Like
yeah. No, it is. It's good to see both sides of, and that's the that's the part, man. You play hard, you work hard, man. You just try to enjoy it all, right?
Right, 100%. So, I was in Dallas. I was at the Noble Classic. Then I went and watched Melissa play Carter. It was an event. I forgot what it's called, so I apologize for whoever ran that event. But it was a good one. And Grand Prairie played Red Oak before. I only caught like the last 3 minutes. But Grand Prairie won that game. But at the Noble, there were some really high-level games. Some guys that stood up to me, that Allen and Antonian game. Allen won. I think Dylan Matlock-Reed hit a 3 at the end. That was a game-winning 3 at the end with like 4 seconds left. But it was like the battle of the small guards. You have Nehemiah Lawrence at Allen, big-time player. I think he committed to Hampton. Don't know how tall he is. He's undersized, but he's a dog. Like he literally just goes. Like the saying, it doesn't matter how tall you are, but how good you are. That applies to Nehemiah. He's getting to the paint. He's defending full length of the floor. He's facilitating. He's tough. He communicates. He's making shots, and he makes clutch shots. Like he's someone that you just know down the stretch, if you need a bucket or you need a stop or you just need something to get the team energized, Nehemiah brings that. And for him to be the best player but provides whatever his team needs, that's big time. I mean, he was fantastic. And Amari Guerra, I hope I'm saying the last name right. He I think Mary Matt commit. He's someone tough, makes shots, talks some shit. He gets a lot of stuff done. He knows how to make his team around him better. He did that at Pro Skills last year. I mean, this past summer, like he was a spark plug. He was someone that had big games and allowed them to win games that people didn't even predict them to win. And Amari, like, if you would have asked anybody in the stands who's going to win that game outside of an Antonian fan base, people thought Allen would probably win by 8-10 points. But Amari really carries the team. He does a really good job, and that team is very well structured. There's guys in there that play the role. They battle inside. They handle the pressure that Allen applies because defensively, Allen is just no matter who they have in there, they're going to guard you and they're going to be super physical. And they have to make the refs decide how physical, they're going to make this. So that was
let them get away with.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a really fun one. Some other kids like the Parrish and Brennan game. Brandon ultimately won. Really impressed with Armand Almoder. His jumper looks so much more fluid. It's cleaner. It still needs some some fine tuning, but it's better. He's attempting them with confidence off the catch. He has like this bullish style of play offensively. Like he kind of puts his head down, initiates the contact to finish, but there's more like craft. There's more like stopping, like changing like speeds and stuff to kind of get into his spots. They're just more of just a feel and just like surveying with him, which is important just with his shot creation skills. He was super impressive. Taylor Todd, Austin P commit, was great, as he normally is. I mean, we're talking about these guards. Like, I thought this was a guard, heavy, like, weekend of just guys that really stood out. Taylor Todd is one of those, just gets to his spots, finishes around length. He's tough. He's defending. He's really fighting through screens well. Donovan Chris was making shots at a high level. UTEP commit. Delano Tarpley, like we talked about last week, he was very solid. It was good to see him and Lucas Hudson kind of going at it. Lucas Hudson is a Nevada commit. And Lucas was like, he made like key corner threes, mid-range jumpers. He was fighting in there. Like, once he gets stronger, he's going to be a very good college basketball player. Like, I see some real tools with him.
Absolutely agree.
Delano was good. Antoine Almoder was really good too, just how he defends. He's so physical. He's someone that probably is going to foul. He's going to be in like borderline foul out each game because how physical defender he is. But I like that. You need that. And he rebounds. Again, the Twins are someone that whatever you list them, they play 4 inches taller than that. And these are Northwestern commits.
And they're just winners. I'm going to add that to that. They just find, like, you're describing them, and these are all ways of finding ways to win and watching them. Every time you watch them play, and for whoever it is on the sideline saying, this kid does this or doesn't do that. At the end of the day, if we're talking basketball, we're talking about how to get a W, right? If I'm a coach, if I'm a GM, if I'm a scout, if I'm an AD, you're looking for ways to get a W. And those kids embody everything that is about getting a W, even if it is the intangible pieces where you always see them talking to their teammates. You always see them talking to each other, communicating, just finding ways to contribute to winning outside of just trying to make a play. It is sometimes communicating. It's getting them going, or telling them to pick it up on defense, or whatever it is to, hey, I saw this last play. Let's try this time. So those are the parts, and to that whole Parrish team, obviously. But those are kind of the two guys that lead the way. But I just wanted to second that with you, with those two kids. They're unbelievable kids and just winners in general. So they'll be doing a lot of that, hopefully, at the next level where they're going next. So what do you mentioned Melissa and Carter. How was that game? I felt like we know how Carter plays. They put a lot of pressure on the ball. They like to play up tempo. They're young, they're fast, they're exciting. Melissa's obviously got Gooseby. They got Trey Edwards. There's some studs on this court. So how did that go? I'm interested to see how that went.
Yeah, so before I answer that, on the top left, guys, or right, however way you're looking at this, I'm not great with directions. We have the QR code for the Noble Classic Athlete.ai. Make sure you click that QR code. We have 300 plus highlights from the Noble Classic on Friday and Saturday, so there's a lot of content on there. Please take a look at it. Download the Athlete.ai app. You can create reels on there. We have our premium packages, and listen, for the price and what we provide, it's a steal at the end of the day. So that was like a little commercial. So when you talk about Melissa Carter, that was a blowout. Carter beat the hell out of Melissa, to be honest with you. Austin, Trey Edwards did not play 228 guard. Colin LaCourse hurt as well. That's their PG. So it's really, as Austin, he was there. Mustafa Muhammad was there, 227. And it was ugly. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't close. At any point, I didn't feel like it was close at all. Caden Eason, 227 for Carter, is a beast. Like, we talked about Isaiah Santos being someone that doesn't need a ball in his hands to like be impactful. That's Caden. He's someone that is very athletic, has good arm length, about 6'5". He makes mid-range jumpers. He can extend on the three a little bit. I think that just needs to be consistent there with the catch and shoot. from the three, but he's a driver. He's a really good off-ball cutter. He's a finisher. He defends. He uses length, especially when they're trapping. And just as an individual defender, he's very like pesky with like his length. He's always looking to kind of get steals. But he's very like smart with when he wants to try to go get a steal or just he really bothers ball handlers well. But Shakir Kizzy, another 227 prospect, someone that I think has grown like 5 or 6 inches in the past year. In contention to be a valedictorian. At Dallas Carter, he's starting to figure it out. He's in the next 9 months, wherever he's going to be in the national polls, I would not be surprised, to be honest with you. There's something really there. The only reason I'm not like ready, I think I really am ready, but I'm not like ready to say what I want to say about him nationally, and I'm going to hold that. I know he's still like every game is not there. He needs to stack the days more, needs to be more consistent and productive. I thought that game he really played well, was rebounding, making shots from three. The jumper is real at his size. He's very fluid as a mover. His motor is good. Playing for Coach Love, you're not going to see that floor. Your motor is not good. He's just getting better and better and better. He has knee pains, so they say he's still growing. Just really, really interested to see how it's all going to pan out. I will not be surprised if, and I'm just going to say this, like if this kid ends up potentially, like I'm not going to predict this, but if he ends up being like a top 25 player level in the country, top 30 or top 100, top 50, top 60, no surprise there. Shakir, yeah.
No, he's got it. I'm going to piggyback off you. Just seeing him from the growth, even from the springtime until recently, like the last fall. I think I saw him last month. It's like oozing out of him.
Yeah.
The potential of, dang, he's that tall. Okay. He moves really well. Okay. I know he's super slim, top to bottom. I couldn't even call you how much he weighs. 115. You know what I mean? Like 6'9", 120. But he plays so aggressive and so tough. Like he doesn't know that I'm thin. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't realize it. Like I'm still sticking my nose in here in this traffic for these rebounds. I'm coming over from the weak side to come get this block. I'm going to run the floor, and if there's somebody in front of you, I'm going to dunk on you. You know what I mean? Like there's still that aggressive mindset to where when the physical part catches up, that's when you were talking about all the stuff starts to click. And for him to, at that size and that mobility, to have some perimeter game to shoot it, and he shoots it really well, and decently with the handle. You just watching, you're just in your mind, you're thinking like, okay, what is this going to turn into? And like you said, stack the days. Obviously, we've seen kids kind of however they go, but if he can stack them, if he can kind of continue this progression, and stick with it, I'm excited to see what it turns into. So I feel you trying to say it, but not trying to say it. I know where you're going. I think we've had these sidebar conversations about the kid already. I've got a bunch of different texts about him already. I'm excited about him. Containing the excitement because you just want to see the kid grow and progress, and he's headed in the right direction. He's gonna shoot up the charts. At the end of the day, he's gonna shoot up the charts. What it is, I don't know. He's gonna shoot up the charts.
Yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when on this one, to be honest with you. This kid, because we've seen it before, right? Shoot, and that's why I'm like, I don't want to be way too early, but I just know what's about to happen. Like this kid's gonna have a chance to be a 5-star level player. I mean, just to be honest with you, I know it's like, there's guys in 27 that have probably put on have a bigger, longer resume, have probably done more, but you just can't teach what this kid has and what he's doing and how impressive he's looking. And again, like I'm not going to go there yet, but I just know like what is about to be. And as long as Shaq, if he's listening to this, man, keep stacking the days, keep getting better, keep taking care of your body, do those things. You have a real chance. And I don't think this kid's done growing at all. So shout out to Shakir on that. I didn't watch a lot of the Grand Prairie game, but they told me like Stephen McLeod, who we talked about earlier last week's pause shoe was really impressive. I mean, he kind of really commanded the paint, imposed his will. It's a big reason why they beat Red Oak. Red Oak does have a lot of like size in the front court, and Stephen McLeod and Felix Oakham, 229 prospect, they kind of really just imposed their will inside. Going back to the Noble, just a couple of 226s that are still available that I like Jeremy Nyakundi. He was really good for Arlington Martin. He's someone that I know he had an LIU offer in July. Don't know where his recruitment is now, but you know how many Division I coaches are asking for a big shoe, right? Like I think he's 6'9". He has a really strong body. He moves fairly well. He has a decent, very solid offensive skill set. He's starting to like shoot and make open threes. I'm not saying that's something he's going to do right off the bat in college, but it's something that he shows some promise to do. Again, he's a player at his size, at his strength, like his body. I think you're a Division I coach. You need to take a look at, and maybe it's something you nab in late. As we know, bigs are always going to be available. Bigs are come at a premium. He's someone that's going to be available late, I think. And if you're a Division I that needs size, I think he's someone you definitely have to look at. There's a kid, Waters. I don't know if the first name's Brian. It's a Mansfield Timberview. I do not have their roster on me, but about 6'4", 6'5", like he was like shooting threes like off ghost screens. They played Martin. He was attacking like closeouts. He was like doing straight line drives and finishing. Show some like finishing off like jumping off the off foot and finishing. He has a good frame. He's someone that I think like he's a scholarship player. I don't want to say he's a Division I player, but he's a scholarship basketball player that I think coaches need to take a look at. You see guys like him in Region 14 or Region 5 junior college that have a lot of success because he's strong. He can guard bigger players, but he can also shoot it. When you want to kind of go small, maybe put him at the 4 or something like that. And we see that a lot of times, where they're successful and, now they got a bigger guy on them and now he can't protect the paint because they have to watch him. As a shooter. So he's someone that's very intriguing to me. Steven Reynolds, another 226 guard, had a lot of high major recruitment early. He still has some high majors kind of really flirting with them, just trying to see where they're at, where he's at. He's someone that I think like he's a bucket getter. He has really good elevation, especially with his pull-up jumper. He has good positional size. Offensively, he's very talented and is translatable. He does need to get stronger, right? But I think just his offensive talent, and I thought, people talked about his defense. I saw a lot of good things with his defense, like keeping the guard in front of him, especially when switching, using his length to like alter pat, like the deflect passes or block shots at the rim. He had, I think, 2 or 3 blocks against Timberview. So he was really, really impressive there. So Isaiah Ward for Brennan, and I talked a little bit about him. He's someone that was a Denver commit. He had to decommit, if you want to, I'm not going to expand on what happened there, but he's someone about 6'5". He's healthy again. He's really good in the mid post. Like he has really good footwork. He can really keep defenses off guard, like the defender off guard with pump fakes, footwork. He knows he can kind of get into those creases and finish. His 3-point shooting is better, especially off the catch. So Isaiah Ward is a Division I prospect that's still available. I think guys need to take a look at. Now I'll go into some other guys that stood out. And forgive me, guys, if I kind of forget, like Noah Foster, 227 from Anna. Really intriguing prospect, about 6'7", 6'8", can shoot it. He showed some toughness. He communicated a lot on the defensive end. He's someone that's worth watching. I know he had a good preseason, playing in these circuits and stuff like that. Dylan Steffi, 228. When they played Martin Memorial, who has a chance, to make a state run this year, Dylan was very impressive. He had damn near a double-double. He has 6 assists in the first half. I did the color commentary on that game. He was getting into the paint. He was really throwing lobs to Xander Brzezinski for the finish. He was finding the shooters. VJ Keshev hit 229 guard. He was making shots. He was actually impressive too. But Dylan was like commanding the game. He was being a floor general. He was making sure people were at their spots. When the defense helped hard, he was spraying it to the guys in the corner. When the big man was helping hard off, he was throwing the lob. And then offensively, like, his jumper is still like, that's really the swinging skill for him. He's going to have to get better at that. You're seeing the mechanics are a little bit smoother. He made 2 threes. One was off the backboard. Like he couldn't even believe it went in. So I'm gonna count it on the box score, but I'm not going to count it if that makes any sense. So He was really impressive. I felt like he was the best performer in that game, to be honest with you, just because he was balancing playmaking, scoring. And he's a pass first PG, but I like that he was very aggressive, trying to look for his shots in the paint with floaters or layups, or even taking the open three. I mean, Dylan just got to continue to progress, but he had a really strong showing there. Kensington Candler and Josh Weems for a little M are a fun backcourt duo. Josh Williams is like 6 foot that plays like he's 6'4". He's really athletic. He's great in transition, open floor. He finishes above the rim. He makes shots. He's tough. He talks a little shit. I love him. I love watching him play. And Kensington just a bucket getter. He can create space at SFA commit. He can create space off the bounce. He scores it. I was saying in the color commentary, because in the beginning of that game, he started out slow, like he was taking tough shots early, but he's someone that can get to the paint anytime he wants. I love when he can get, closer to the rim and finish, and then kind of get into his jump shooting, his 3-point game and stuff like that. So those guys, I know I'm probably missing some others that stood out to me, but those guys specifically were really, really impressive to me.
It sounds like it was a loaded field. Anytime, again, you can get good basketball early in this time frame at events like this, because sometimes, everybody can be spread out. But if you can kind of collectively get them in the same spot, that's sound like you had some good basketball in front of you. I'm a big fan of Xander. I'm a big fan of Steffi. Again, just kind of that combo of just being able to create. You got the lob finisher, you got the lob thrower, play creator, and Steffi, and then Xander. I think Xander's underrated, man. I don't know where he is with his recruitment at this point in time, but seeing him through the summer until now, he's just been so consistent with his play and his production, protecting the rim, finishing plays around the basket, rebounding at a high level, being talkative on that back line as far as a big defender. Like, I just think he's athletic. You know what I mean? And he's smart. And so I think he does a lot for his teams whenever he plays. Again, another kid that don't need the ball really too much to do some things. You throw him a ball, you throw him a lob, you kind of dump it off to him in a short corner. He can do something with it. So I'm a big fan of him and Steffi, and man, just kind of excited to see those guys play. Unfortunately couldn't watch. I was busy all this weekend, but I'm excited for this upcoming week and move forward to see a lot of these young kids and how they develop from the summer till now. So good to hear.
Yeah, that was good. A few others before we go into the college aspect of this. Joseph Creel, 229 for Mansfield Summit was impressive. Made a couple threes. He got confident in that second half, and he played a big part in them beating the Colony. Bryce Dixon had a really good showing too. Jumper looked cleaner. He was getting to that rim. He's such a dog. He's like an outside dog, right? He's just tough as nails. I thought he was impressive too. I didn't get to watch a lot of that high school and South Central prep game, but that was a high level game. We talked about some 226s. The kid for South Central prep, I literally just draw a blank, but he was at Impact Academy / RWG. I'll remember his name later, but he's someone. Take a look at him. He's like a 6'8" play for YGC. Literally complete brain fart on my end right now.
You did.
Yeah. But he was good. He was good. I thought he was impressive. And then also Theo Brannon. Theo just runs the show. Does a really good job. I also like I just like how high school plays. It's really hard to beat them. I mean, they got Quincy Baker, who's an impressive. He came from, I think, Frisco Lone Star over to them. He's been very impressive. So, that high school team has a lot of talent, has length, depth. That was a high level game between those two in South Central Prep 1. So we're going to the college run. Again, guys, we told you Texas Basketball Weekly is all Texas, right? So I'm going to spew out my few notes, and then I'm going to let you get to it. So Texas Tech got a clean win versus Milwaukee. Christian Anderson had 18.7 assists. Christian Anderson has been super, super impressive this season. Has really kind of been the guy with him and JT Toppin as well. JT Toppin had a 30-point game against Illinois. Some mid-major work. Rice beat Commerce 71-64. Jalen Smith, who was actually out all season, he's a transfer from SMU. In Lanier, he's averaging right now 13 points, 3 assists a game. He had 18 and 5 in that win versus Commerce. He's someone that, took that year off. I think he was hurt. Now he's back going. SFA is 4-0. Keon Thompson. Shout out to Matty B. Keon Thompson's averaging 22.6 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 15 and 12 in a win versus ACU. He's like a 6'1" guard that you can't stop him from getting to the paint. He draws fouls. He gets to the free throw line. With his 15 points, I think he went 7 for 10 from the free throw line. He knows how to draw fouls. He's physical. Keon Thompson, I think he had 40 versus Sam Houston, a scrimmage game. Again, it is a scrimmage, but man, I mean, he's one that can drop 30 and not attempt a three.
Yeah, that's a bucket.
he's a bucket. He's a bucket. Cameron Carr for Baylor, averaging 23.7 points per game and 4 rebounds, shooting 53% from the three. He's someone that's getting first-round buzz right now in the 226 NBA draft. He's a transfer from Tennessee. He's been super impressive. I remember him at Link Academy. I was like, man, that kid has a chance to be a pro. I'm glad that I'm glad I was right on that. He's really kind of bringing it together. 6'5" guard, wing that can guard multiple spots, uses his length. He has 2 games that he had 3 blocks. So he's really shown his two-way ability in his shot making as well. Houston, I'll let you touch on that. Big win versus Auburn, 73-72. The 2 freshmen really shined there. And then TCU lost a close one to Michigan, 67-63. TCU, if they got more out of David Punch, they would have won that game, to be honest with you. Had a just struggle shooting. I think he was 1 for something, whatever. But Micah Robinson is someone that we need to definitely take a talk about. He's averaging 12 and 5 on the season, shooting 53% from 3. He's tough. He's like a 6'5", 6'6" wing that gets a lot of stuff done. He just physical as a driver. He's making threes. I think he's shooting he's shooting a high end from the 3-point line. Someone that people need to continue to watch, someone that's been productive, someone that's taken the next step of growth in his offensive game. And TCU, the staff will tell you, he's someone that lives in the gym. He's in there. He's always grinding. He's looking to get better. So shout out to Michael Robinson for just his growth from the freshman to sophomore year. But take the floor. What have you been seeing in the college game? There's also someone I did miss as well in that Baylor game. I want you to talk about him.
I'm going to piggyback off your TCU game first. And again, shout out to Micah Robinson, because that was something that I think coming into this season and me watching him through the summer and practices, it was just okay, where is his next step? Where is he going to take it? I know where I'd like for him to take it as far as just being a consistent shooter and just being upticking everything else as far as just that versatile defender. Strong driver, playing behind the defenses, sometimes back cutting, diving to the rim and just trying to finish plays in that aspect, and then trying to get out into the open floor. For that game on Tuesday, for that game that they had this weekend, I thought he was super impactful. I think he had 12 points, 3 rebounds. He made 2 threes, like you said. Got to the free throw line. I think it was 4 or 5. He was just really crucial to keeping them in the game. And then I'm also give Tanner Toulson some love too. The junior shooting guard, probably about 6'5". He was able to kind of keep them in games too as well, as far as just being able to score it. He was tough. He just had positive plays. Every time he was on the floor, it just felt like it was positive. He came off the bench. Micah also came off the bench. I think Tanner was probably the higher rated plus minus. I think he had a plus 8 as far as him being on the floor. But for TCU, Brock Harding was kind of the engine that led the way for them. 15 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals. He shot 50% from the field, and as much as he has the ball in his hands, he only had 1 turnover. So he was steady, riding that ship, and just kind of the most consistent, handling ball pressure and just both the playmaking duties. Really good in ball screens or just setting it up in the offense with whatever Coach Dixon is trying to get them to do. So close game. They almost came away with it, but ended up losing that game. Again, shout out to Synergy. I was able to catch up. So, and you touched on the other games. Houston, Auburn, big game out in Birmingham. Close game. A rematch of last year's game where Auburn came to Toyota Center in Houston and got the W, and Houston was able to come away with the W this time around. two people that shined, I think the brightest in this game was the two freshmen. You got Kingston Flemings and Chris Knack. Kingston, 22 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. He was 8 of 13, super efficient. I think this is his third game in a row of 19 or 20 points. And he's leading the team in scoring right now. And he did it on the biggest stage, this weekend. And so him and watching his career, high school career to now, and just seeing that jump shot kind of slowly get better, I thought was great to see in his progression. But I think the thing that translates the most, again, from watching him as a younger kid till now, is just his athleticism and his decisive movement. He's so decisive and quick. As soon as the kid sticks his foot in the ground, he's able to change direction and go with so much speed. And so he showed that this past weekend, blowing by defenders, whether it was a guard or, take advantage of angles that he had on bigs who just probably didn't come out to him properly. But he killed it a little bit in the mid range. Got a lot of mid range pull ups, great elevation on his jump shot, and was just able to kind of make shots consistently throughout the day, which he just looks so much more confident in that space. Looks a little bit smoother. And so Chris Knack, damn near averages double-double. I think he's got 10 and 9 for the season. But from this past weekend, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 8 of 10 from the floor. He made 2 threes. He got a block. From all the, hey, you picked the right school stuff that everybody told him what you needed to progress in your basketball career, is starting to show, and it's showing early. How tough he is with the physicality, with the contact, with going to go after rebounds. He snagged so many rebounds, 2-hand traffic rebounds, that yes, he is a solid rebounder, and that is going to translate for him moving forward, and is going to get him paid moving forward. The part that I love, it says a lot about how much trust you have in your player if, as a freshman, if you're getting the first play drawn up for you. So he had the first play drawn up for him, scored it. And I think they went to him the second time around. And so Chris Knack is just, you see the confidence growing. You see the confidence in the coaching staff that they have in him, and the amount of time he's playing and the amount of touches he's able to get. He's got a couple of go-to moves. He's got this sort of Barkley get to the nail area fadeaway jump shot. He's got touch that translates. So he played really well, and all the 3 returners played well as well. They chipped in all the right moments. Emmanuel Sharp knocking down a couple of threes that were big, attacking the basket, getting to the free throw line. JoJo defensively just being everywhere, as he is, as he's a defensive player sort of candidate. And Milos Uzan was just able to get big baskets when Auburn tried to, they're having their runs back and forth, and he had his moments of finding his rhythm and finding his baskets and just being able to play efficiently and effectively. Isaiah Harwell, the other high-level freshman, the only 5 points that came off the bench, I think he's turning the corner for that team, and it's just for him more of him just being healthy. That's all it is for him at the end of the day, being healthy and being able to showcase who he is, a two-way wing player that affects the game in a multitude of facets. And so they were really good. Who else played well? SMU Butler was another close game that basically came down to the end. 87-85 game. SMU walked away with the victory. It was Jerome Pierre Jr. who he got a reverse lay at the end of the game, or final seconds of the game, to put them up 2. But Boopie Miller for SMU, the point guard, he's the engine that kind of stirs everything for them. 23 points, 12 assists. He had 3 steals. He was 9 of 13 from the field. He's just so efficient. He's just so effective in everything he does. There's nothing that's super all over the place. Like, oh, he's not this high-level Kyrie package lay finish at the rim. He just knows how to put the ball in the basket and knows how to make the right play at the right time. And I really love that about him. And then Jerome Pierre for them, again, the transfer that came in, I think he was top 4 scoring in the nation last year. He transferred in, and he had 18 points, 7 boards. He was 8 of 16, and he's able to find his space on this team and continue to be as if he can come close to being as productive as he was on the offensive end the previous season. SMU is gonna collect a lot of wins. And the other Texas product that came back from Butler, I'm gonna give a quick shout out, Finley Bizjack. I hope I pronounced the last name right, but top 100 kid out of Dallas. Thinking with the Byron Nelson, put up 18 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. He had 5 threes that he knocked in. He wasn't shy of getting his shots up. He was going to come back to Texas and show out. Unfortunately, it came away with the L, but another Texas product out of the state came back and showed out while he was here. So a lot of high-level college hoops that was going on. So it was fun to catch up on.
Absolutely. And then like Finley's like pass, that over the head pass that he made to the shooter was like outrageous. That was probably the best play I've seen.
Yeah.
Borderline, it's in contention for best play I've seen in college basketball in the early season so far. That was insane. That was the best pass I definitely have seen. That was incredible. Shout out to Finley there. Dior Johnson had 42 points off the bench for Tarleton against Baylor. They lost, but Dior is he continues to show, like, if you give him minutes, put that ball in his hands, he's going to go get a bucket. He's going to score. I remember when they did the scrimmage against TCU, I think he had almost like 20 points. I think he already has a 30-point outing. He's doing this off the bench. Like, he has been their most productive player in offensive threat coming off the bench. And it's just really great to see. Like, I know he's had a very rocky, start in his college career. Just a lot of up and downs, but just to see him out there, scoring a lot of points against high major programs, dropping 40 points against a Big 12 team, a team that is projected to be in the NCAA tournament this year, is huge. And we just want to continue to see DR doing that. But 42 points coming off the bench, super impressive. Super impressive. My bad. I had a little lag. Super impressive there. And but yeah, shout out to them. That's our college basketball segment. And guys, that is the end of Texas Basketball Weekly. Again, we're going to give you everything you need throughout the week. We may do another episode because there's a high-level game going on tomorrow with Faith Family and Dynamic Prep and Stoop Johnson, his event that he has going. We may do something for like a quick 20 minutes, but we're going to give you everything that you need here. Texas Basketball Weekly, high school, college, pros, your one-stop shop. This is your host, Animana and Mashu Nega. We'll see you guys soon.